Quarantine. Before 2020, you probably didn't use this word often.
No, I said it all the time.
You did?
Nah, I never said that word before 2020. I just wanted to interrupt you.
Great.
You're welcome.
I didn't say thank you. I said great. Sarcastically.
I know.
Quarantine. We know what it means, but do we know where the word itself comes from?
Yeah, it came to English in the 1400s from the French quarantaine and the Italian quarantena, meaning about 40. Initially a biblical reference to a 40-day period of fasting, and eventually by the 1600s its meaning shifted to mean a period of time a ship would spend in isolation to protect a port city from suspected potential disease.
Are you serious right now?
Oh, yeah.
You want to do this whole video for me?
I'm good.
So the word quarantine made its way into English via French and Italian in the 1600s. But that's not all. In fact, the history of the word quarantine is super interesting.
You're really trying to channel Linguriosa right now, aren't you?
Yes, I love her, okay?
Yeah, no, that's understandable. She's great.
So quarantaine in French means 40-ish, and that N ending actually made its way into English as well with the word 12. I'm sorry guys, I know my French pronunciation is not it. But before we get sidetracked, let's actually go into the definition of the word quarantine. If you're in quarantine, you're a healthy person separated from other people because you may have been exposed to a communicable disease and you're waiting to see if you become ill. On the other hand, if you're in isolation, you're an ill person separated from other people so that they don't become ill. Sick people isolate, unsick people quarantine. Now let's go back to 1347. The Black Death was ravaging Europe, Western Asia, and North Africa. And by 1353, it had killed about a third of the entire population. Not to mention, outbreaks occurred around the world until the 1800s. In 1374, Viscount Bernabo of Reggio, Italy, declared that every person with plague be taken out of the city into the fields, there to die or recover.
I think I'd rather recover.
Yeah, I'm sure they all did. They didn't really have a choice, okay? It wasn't like, do you want chocolate or vanilla?
Oh, chocolate, for sure.
Anyway, at the time, a similar strategy was implemented in the port city of Ragusa, modern-day Dubrovnik, Croatia. Jacob of Padua, the city's chief physician, thought it might be a good idea to have a place outside of the city to treat residents who have fallen ill and for out-of-towners who came seeking a cure. Unfortunately, implementation wasn't perfect and yielded less than impressive results. So, in 1377, the Great Council of Ragusa established a trentino.
Trenta means 30 in Italian.
Yes, thank you. And the trentino was a period of 30 days of isolation, and the law stated that 1. People from plague-affected areas could not enter Ragusa until they completed 1 month in isolation. 2. No one from Ragusa could go to the isolation area, and if they did, they too would have to isolate there for 30 days. 3. People other than those assigned were not allowed to bring food there, which kind of coincides with number 2, but I guess they felt the need to specify? You know, people make concessions, like I'm not going to go inside, but what if I just brought them a green juice?
I don't think they really had green juice like that back then.
I know, it was a joke.
Aren't jokes supposed to be funny?
And 4, anyone who broke the above 3 rules would end up having to remain in isolation for 30 days. And over the next 80 or so years, a bunch of other cities and municipalities introduced similar laws, during which time the period of isolation was extended from 30 to 40 days, when the term changed from Trentino to Quarantino. I think you see where this is going.
Cute! No one knows why they changed it, though.
That's true. No one knows for sure, but there are some pretty good guesses. Some historians say that they likely believed a month just wasn't long enough to prevent the spread of disease. Some believe they just liked that the 40-day thing fit nicely with Lent and other religious stories and traditions. Others think maybe it had to do with the ancient Greek doctrine of critical days. Whichever reason, or combination of reasons it may have been, the quarantino is where we get the word quarantine in English today. The history of quarantining to prevent disease and isolating those infected dates back thousands of years, which makes the word a little bit newer than the practice itself,
but still pretty old.
Yes, thank you. And thank you to everyone on Patreon who voted for this word to be the first word I dive into the etymology of. If there's any word that you're curious about for future episodes, please let me know in the comments, and let me know what you thought of this one. If you want to check out my Patreon for extra clips, early videos, and other stuff, it's patreon.com/soundlyawake, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Stay curious.
Ooh, you can't say that. That's it's okay to be smart's thing.
Frick. Bye.